Well, hello, folks. This is Steve, and this is A Voice in the Desert. Well, welcome to 2024. What I'd like to, my topic today is I'd like to kind of reflect on some of the things that happened last year, and then we'll just talk about some of the topics for this year. But for those of you who got a chance to see my testimony at Tyndale House Publishers, I thank you for everybody who got a chance to hear my story, and I was also thankful for the chance to get it uploaded here on YouTube. And it was a very interesting story, and I wanted to share with everybody about my life story, about what it was like for me growing up. um, there's so much to be thankful for, so much to be thankful for. I'm thankful for food. I'm thankful for shelter. I'm just thankful to be here on this earth. And there's a lot of things that we need to be thankful for, despite the challenges that lie ahead. But I do want to talk about some of the things that we may be headed for in the what we be headed for in the new year for 2024. And I will say this once again: it doesn't matter what politician that we elect in 2024. It doesn't matter a politician or a pastor or a celebrity. The only thing that matters is God, and that's kind of what we have to live for every day. The only person that we can turn to is God, not some idol that we worship. But there are a few things that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about there's been a lot of scandals that have been going on with the churches. As a matter of fact, the church that I'm going to right now, there's a pastor right here in the northwest suburbs that's been pastoring a church. I won't mention the name of the church, but I'm sure it's probably doesn't surprise you that he's actually going to be retiring, but there's allegations of him of spiritual abuse and abuse of power. And for those of you that might be familiar with stuff like that, I mean, I don't know whether he's guilty or whether he's innocent, and I'm not one to take sides, but I will say this again, and I know I just want to make also just want to before I continue, I just want to make sure that you take the time and just go to my friend's YouTube channel called A Voice Crying in the Desert, and I just want to give some praise to my brother out there, James Carter, and Brian Penrod and his channel out there. And if you feel inclined to do something for God, or if you feel that you want to get involved in his ministry, I would encourage you to do so. It's called A Voice Crying in the Desert channel. He's got a ministry. I think he's got almost 40 subscribers, and he's just right out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. So and I'm probably one of the ones that donates some of the Bibles, as I work for Tyndale House Publishers, and I usually get the Bibles and I usually donate it for him. And some of what he does is he goes out there and he helps underprivileged youth, or just people that most of the churches don't want to know. And I think it is very important this year that we all get out there and we start to be ministering to the people that don't know who God is. There's a lot of churches and a lot of organizations that are not doing that. But back on the other topic of spiritual abuse and abuse of power, I don't think that a lot of you out there who may have be in a church, or may have been involved, or may been part of a church that's embroiled in a scandal like that, you're not alone. There actually are pastors out there that are this way. And there actually are some pastors out there that if you don't do what they want you to do, or if you don't dress the way they want you to, they will tell you so. They will make sure that they will tell you they will control you. They'll tell you how to live. They'll get into their finances, and they'll tell you. And if you don't do what they want you to do, they will kick you out. There are pastors out there that are very, very strict, and they will do that. But it at least it is very sad when you're part of a church and there are churches out there and with pastors out there that get accused of that. But I guess that there are ministers out there that feel that everybody needs to worship to their feet instead of worshiping to God. And just because they've been there for a number of years, it just gives them a lot of seniority, and it gives them the power that they can just do whatever they want and they don't have to be accountable to anyone. And I do think that, everybody has to be accountable for things that they do. And again, I think everybody has a right to a fair trial. I think all of these things have to be investigated. And if you're one of those who've experienced that kind of abuse, or maybe you've been hurt in a church, I'll say this again. It doesn't matter where you go. The church is filled with a lot of imperfect people. I mean, we're all imperfect. I'm imperfect. The people that are there, we've all been accused of things. We've all done things that we regret, and we all have to answer to God for them. But I again, it's just part of the territory, and it's usually very shocking when you get to hear stuff like that. But I am doing kind of my best to try to live for God. I'm actually at least try to do something for God and just try to be a blessing to some of the people that I work for and the people that I associate with, and just try to give my time to people that don't know who God is. And I try to do it. And when you actually go out there and you try to minister to people, there are some people that are open to it, and there are some people that are not open to it. But it just comes with the territory, and sometimes you got to take a risk, and you got to kind of step out of your comfort zone, and you just got to just let people know who you are, and just not be afraid, and just do it in a non-confrontational way, and just ask if they need prayer for anything, or do something. I mean, maybe if it means if you're at a restaurant and you pray for the waitress, or ask if there's something that they need. So it's all about stepping out of your comfort zone. The only way that we're going to get people to God is if we ourselves show people who we are, and just show the love of God by showing other people who we are on the inside. And then that's how we're going to reach people for Christ. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this afternoon. And there's a lot of things I just want to reflect on for 2024. I'm just praying for a better year. I'm just praying for my friend James Carter's ministry, that it will continue to build, and just continue to pray for our country. There's so many people out there that need it. Pray for the economics of the country. Pray for homeless people. There's just so many issues out there right now, and we all have to get down on our knees, and we just have to pray to God and understand that that's the person that we need to be confiding each and every day. And that's what I try to do. I don't look to politicians. I don't look to movie stars. What I do is that regardless of who gets elected or who is ever in power, I don't change. I will survive. I will always be here. My life doesn't revolve around who wins elections, or who's in the White House, or who's in the government. And I understand it is important for all of us to go out there and get involved, and we should vote. But I will say this, politicians alone can't do the things that we can do. And no politician, no government leader is going to fix some of the problems that we have right now, or some of the division that we are facing in this country. And it seems to be happening everywhere. It's in the country, it's in the church, it's pretty much everywhere. And we have to be willing to be ready for it. And we just have to be willing to get it down on our knees and continue to pray. And we just have to do the best of our ability to be a blessing to others. And what others do, that's not our concern. But it's just, we have to live the way we live and let others live the way they live. So that's just kind of what I wanted to discuss today. So I'm just glad to be back in this platform. I was glad that all of you got a chance to hear my story a few months ago, my testimony and my life story. I've had a very rough life, but but amazingly, God has got me through it. And if God can get me through it, it can get you through it. And no matter what you've been through, no matter what struggles you've had in your life, God is always with you. And no matter what you've been through, if you've suffered from addiction, if you suffer from alcoholism, uh, it's just, if you are, just always try to get that help, and just remember God is always on your side. And so this is Steve from A Voice in the Desert. So I just want to take the opportunity to wish my friend James Carter in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and his ministry, and hopefully I will be back in maybe in a few months to do more videos. I've had some recent health issues, but I just had a birthday a few months ago, so I had a few celebrations. I'm just thankful for all the people that have been around me, that have been supporting me in my life, all the people that have helped me. There's been somebody recently passed away. We have a close friend of mine, and it was sort of like my stepmom. I just want to continue to put my hands on that family as well. There's also been a praise report. My friend Andrea, she just had surgery. She had a very successful surgery at Northwestern Hospital. She's now recovering, so I'm very thankful for that. So, as again, there's so many things to be thankful for, and there's so many things to be thankful to God about. So, this is Steve A. with A Voice in the Desert, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.